Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trail Mix, where the nuts might be a little stale, but the company is always fresh.
Craig Crawford here, retired journalist working for nothing but the truth and Social Security checks, and here with my good pal Jamie. We're going to watch Marjorie Taylor Greene burn toast in a little while on CNN.
She certainly is stirring up a lot of trouble.
And the issue is this just her? Is this just a little circus sideshow about her? Or are we seeing something more fundamental in the way of the GOP base getting shaky?
I think there is something at the core of any decent human being that says it's just a bridge too far to kind of push cat sand over Epstein.
Yeah. I just don't think, it's complicated because there's, MAGA is really not a monolith. I mean, those of us on the left sometimes portray it that way, which is fine. But there is, I saw Bill Kristol calls it the para-MAGA, as in paranormal.
Yeah.
That there's an element of MAGA that he calls para-MAGA. And I think that's a good way to put it because they go back to the old QAnon days and Pizzagate and JFK Jr.'s alive. I mean, that crowd.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that have this belief that there's an international cabal of elite and powerful pedophiles abusing children, and some of them, even within the para-MAGA, think they're like drinking their blood and so on. I mean, literally, I'm not making that up.
No, I know, but I think this is more the group that just said it was a bridge too far. The White House having a whole wing torn off of it, and the whole constant Epstein and the cost of health care and the mounting grocery bills and all of these powerful guys at the top.
It is adding up. Oh my goodness, they've gone straight to the interview. I did not expect that. Let's go into it. I thought there'd be a little more.
He called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think?
She's going straight to the threat against her.
The reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations. And I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files. And I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files released.
You said on X yesterday, quote, "It's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, and that it really makes you wonder what is in those files."
Yeah,
Are you suggesting there's something in the Epstein files that President Trump does not want Americans to see?
Well, I think that's the part that has so many people confused, is that the women themselves that I have talked to have over and over again said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Quite a few of them even told me they voted for him. And those are the women I would like to see in the Oval Office with support. I would like to see all of the women there with support. I have no idea what's in the files. I can't even guess, but that is the questions everyone is asking, is why fight this so hard?
Well, before this blow up, you sort of alluded to this just now. You said you were confident the president wouldn't be implicated. Are you still confident of that?
I'm listening to the women. Those are the ones that are saying that he did nothing wrong. Virginia Giuffre even said under oath that Donald Trump did nothing wrong, and she wrote it in her book. So I'm continuing to listening to the women, and I think their voices should be the loudest.
The president said the reason that you have been critical of him is not necessarily Epstein, but because he pushed you not to run for the Senate or for governor in Georgia. How and when did he do that?
Well, that is absolutely not true. Actually, I never had a conversation at all with the president about running for Senate or running for Georgia. And those were decisions I came to on my own.
No, that's
that
interesting
I
because that's
don't
what
wanna have
everybody's
anything to
been
do with the
saying.
Senate.
She's
I
mad
think the
about
past
that.
2
She's saying
months
they
of the
didn't talk
government
about it.
shutdown should have shown America exactly why I would never want to be there. I think it's a very broken institution that serves the uniparty and doesn't serve the American people and how they vote. And I decided that I didn't
Uniparty.
want to run for governor
That's a
this cycle
popular
either. I
word in our
very
world.
much want to do the job that I'm in. Everyone else says I'm running for something, but all I want to do is serve Georgia's 14th district. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
So he said it pretty explicitly. Are you saying he's lying, or did he at least get that message to somebody on your political team instead?
I'm not sure. But I don't. That is untrue. What he said. I don't know if he's being fed wrong information. I honestly have no idea in that
That's
area,
always
but it is
their excuse for
absolutely
him. He's
factually
getting
not
bad
true.
advice.
Nor have I
Yeah.
called him, and White House logs would prove that.
Except
His
when they
own
find
cell phone
out he's
records
not
would prove
taking
it. I
any
have not
advice.
been
It's
calling
all
the
him.
president, but I did post messages that I had sent to him, and that
He
was
is a classic
to, like,
sociopath.
protect,
He
get
really is.
involved. This is important.
he
The American
checks
people want
all
the
the
Epstein
boxes.
files released. And, I've stood with the president. I have disagreed with him at times, Dana, and I'm allowed to do that. I think that's
No, you're
the
not.
most important thing we can do as Americans.
not
And I'm
allowed.
urging my party. I've been putting massive pressure on my party and our speaker to pass the agenda that the American people vote for. That's the agenda that I fought for. Those are the campaign promises I made. And I can disagree with the president at times, especially particularly this past Monday on the Marines' 250th anniversary, when he honored the new Syrian president, who is an Al-Qaeda terrorist and was wanted by our government for years with a $10 million bounty up until March of this year. I very much am against that. I think that was very hurtful to the great men and women who served over in the Middle East and were sent there, and many of them that were killed and injured and live with PTSD to this day from fighting Al-Qaeda. So there's things I disagree with, and I'm allowed to do so.
Well, you mentioned the Syrian leader at the White House. You've also been critical of President Trump over foreign entanglements, H-1B visas. Now he's moving military assets towards Venezuela. I do want to play something that he said this week.
Don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else.
No,
And MAGA wants to see our
MAGA's
country
just the Tea
thrive.
Party with another name.
Do you agree? Do you think he represents the MAGA movement as he once did?
He didn't create it.
Well, what the American people voted for with MAGA was to put the American people first and stop sending foreign aid and stop being involved in foreign wars. They very much deserve to be put first. Cost of living is far too high. Health insurance is completely out of control. And those are two issues I've been very vocal on for months and months now, long before Republicans were shocked when those big losses came on this past Tuesday's election. So I think that the American people deserve to be put first. That's what Make America Great Again meant to me. And I think that President Trump can do that if he refocuses his effort. And I think that's what I want to see. I think that's what the country wants to see. Even if he's attacking me, I do want him to be successful for the American people.
So sounds like you're saying that he is not representing the MAGA movement that he started right now.
I can say that promoting H-1B visas to replace American jobs, bringing in 600,000 Chinese students to replace American students' opportunities in American colleges and universities, those are not America First positions. And continuing to really travel all over the world doesn't help Americans back at home. I really, and I said this to him, and I will say it out loud, I would love to see Air Force One be parked and stay home, and there be nothing but a constant focus in the White House on a domestic agenda that helps the American people once and for all.
Congresswoman, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics.
She is really pivoting, isn't she?
And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie
away
Kirk
from
was
the crazy,
assassinated.
The crazy woman that got her on the stage.
I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another. And we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more
building a
than
decent
we
image
have
for herself.
differences.
Absolutely.
And we need
I
to
mean,
be able to respect
this is
each other
clever
with our
stuff.
disagreements.
I mean,
So just to put a button on this,
it always
you
fascinates me to
regret
watch who
the
can
things that
pivot
you
and who
have said
can't.
and
I mean,
posted
it's
in the
skill set.
past. The Facebook post
Bill-
that was
Bill
taken
Clinton
down
was
of you
one
in
of the best.
2020 holding a gun
Well, look
alongside
at our
the squad,
RFK,
encouraging
you know.
people to go on the offense
Yeah.
against the socialists, liking
From
a tweet of
when he
somebody
was
calling for the
serving with his
execution of Nancy
brother
Pelosi
to
and
what
former
he
President
became
Obama. Just
when
examples.
he was running for president.
Yeah.
Well, Dana, as you know, and many
It's
people
always
know, I
interesting when
addressed
somebody
that back in
learns from their
2021.
mistakes.
And of course, I never want to cause
in
any
her
harm
mind,
or
I'm just talking
anything
about
bad
what's in
for
her
anyone.
mind.
So
She
that
did what
was
she had to
addressed
do,
back
you
then,
know,
and I very
laser
much stand
beam
by my
from
words I said
huge
then, and I
laser
stand
beam
by my words
cause
today.
forest fires,
I
all that
think
kind of stuff.
America needs
It
to
got her
come
on the
together
stage.
and end
Yeah.
all the
That
toxic,
was the cover charge.
dangerous
Get on
rhetoric and
stage and
divide.
get attention.
And I'm leading the way with
now that
my own
she's-
example, and
she
I hope
owns
that
the
President
stage.
Trump can do the same.
Okay, so on
she's
that, I do want
pivoting.
to ask you about something you posted just
Even
yesterday on X.
almost sounded like
You
just now she
questioned
was
who
apologizing.
and what country is
Yep.
putting
for
so
who-
much
who she
pressure on
was.
Trump
Working
to
hard
keep
on
the
that.
Epstein
Yeah.
files
She's
hidden. And you included a picture
introspective
about
and
donations
looking
from
at her own
pro-Israel
actions.
lobbying group at AIPAC. What are you trying
So
to say
of course,
there?
You know what?
yeah. See, now of course they're going to label her
Well,
a
I think it's the
rhino.
question that many
Yeah.
Americans are asking, especially when we saw information recently come out in these emails that
Well, you
the
can
Oversight
always,
Committee
and
that
it's
I
a
serve
wonderful
on
trait.
has
I'm not
released.
criticizing it,
And
but the
we saw
American
Jeffrey
people are
Epstein
always
with ties
open
to
to,
Ehud Barak.
you know,
We saw him
forgiveness.
making business deals with them,
And
also business deals that
if
involved
you appeal
the
to
Israeli
their forgiving
government,
nature,
and
Yeah.
you can,
seems
if
to
it's
have led
genuine,
into
if they
their
think it's genuine at
intel
least.
agencies. And I
It'll
think
work.
the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel? And I'm proud to say I don't take money from AIPAC. I don't take money from any special
That's her
group of
superpower.
people. I'm just
doesn't
representing my
need
district and the American people.
The big
And so
money.
that's what I was
She's
referring
got
to.
little
I
donors.
just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Are you saying Israel is pushing the president of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you have that that is
No,
the
I
case?
simply asked.
Just
No, I
asking
simply just
questions.
asked out loud. Is there a foreign
That's
government?
an old
It could be
journalism
any
rule.
foreign
You
government.
can say
But
anything
is
if
a
you put a
foreign
question
government
mark on it.
pushing to keep
Right.
this covered up? Because people just don't understand
And the far
the
right
big
has
fight
used that
against
Well, you had
just
AIPAC up there. It
asking
was pretty clear
as a
which
way to do
government you
some
were
of the
talking
most
about.
awful things.
Yeah.
That I'm questioning that government in particular and questioning any other foreign government.
You know, the
Okay,
split in the
when you're
Republican
talking
right
about lowering the
really
rhetoric, which is
fascinating
important for
and not
everybody
getting
to
as much
hear from
attention
you and all of
outside their world
our
is
elected
the
officials.
split over
But there is
Israel.
some concern, a lot of concern among
That's
Republicans
really
about the rise of
pretty deep
Well,
divide.
a lot of
Semitic
us have a
hard-right
problem
figures
with
in your movement, especially
the government
after
of Israel,
Tucker Carlson hosted white nationalist Nick Fuentes on his podcast.
you know, who
He didn't
happen to be
question Fuentes
Jewish.
about his vile
Yeah.
language or views. You did speak at a conference hosted by
Well, that's what
Fuentes back
she's
in
getting in. That's what
2022.
Dan is
You were criticized
driving
and you
into
said
here
then
is
that you didn't know
the
about
divide
his views.
between
Well, Fuentes
Fuentes
talked to
and
Carlson
Marjorie,
about that in the interview. Listen to what he
who are
said.
not fans of Israel. And
Well, again, with
the
Marjorie,
Republican
I
right
was a
that
friend
is
of hers, and
fans
she
of
spoke at my
Israel.
conference, and then the day after, she
these
pretended
two,
like
my
she didn't know
God.
me. She pretended like she didn't know me and lied and said I had no idea the conference I was speaking at. She knew exactly what it was.
What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, I defend every single person's free speech rights. I think that's incredibly important. So I don't apologize for that. And I don't believe in canceling people. And I think it's important for people like Tucker Carlson and yourself to interview everyone. I don't believe in trying to cancel someone by refusing to interview them and question them. And I did speak at his conference back in 2022. However, I don't know Nick Fuentes. He's someone I've never exchanged text messages with or phone calls, but I did speak at his conference. That was the first time I had met him that day, and that was it. So, but I did watch the interview. I watched the full interview with Tucker, and I admire him for interviewing many people as well as
he's covering all the
the
bases.
Powerful information.
I hear what you're saying.
Does on his show.
I hear what you're saying about free speech. I mean, count me as guilty as a proponent of free speech. There's free speech, and then there is hate speech. And this is a man invited on a really prominent conservative show who said, even during that interview, he had a problem.
I don't know how
with
prominent
organized
Tucker is
Jewry,
anymore.
and he wasn't challenged on it. In the past, he has denied the Holocaust, called Adolf Hitler effing cool, talked about the fact that he thought
just he's
Jim
a very
Crow was
loud
just fine,
voice in
and
a
on
small
and on.
pond.
So
Very,
again, there
and
is
it's-
and it's a
there's
much
free speech,
smaller
and there's
pond.
just hateful
Yeah.
language and sentiments.
Well, Dana, again, I told you on this interview that I'm committed to ending the toxic politics, and I think I don't want to have anything to do with it. You should have Nick Fuentes on your show, and you could ask him questions about that. I
Dana's
myself
gonna do
am not
that, right.
anti-Semitic. I have never criticized the Jewish people or said anything about them in particular. I am critical of the government of Israel, and I can criticize any government I want to in the entire world, as well as our own. And a lot of the times I am criticizing our own government for failing the American people. And I think that needs to be the focus. And that's the most important thing people care about, is being able to afford groceries, housing, health insurance, and having a good quality of life.
Yeah. And I hear you saying you're not anti-Semitic, and you've said it before. And, you know, some of the posts that you have put up, which you have apologized for, certainly have tropes in them that have been used historically against Jews. But I do want to end this conversation with a question to you.
Yeah.
And that is, do you see a situation where you and President Trump can make up? And if not, do you think you have a future in the GOP?
Well, I certainly hope that we can make up. And there's, you know, again, I can only
just
speak for
accused him of
myself.
trying to
I'm
kill
a
her.
Christian,
That's
and one of
gonna
the
be
most
hard to make
important
up.
parts of our faith is forgiveness. And that's something I'm committed to. That's why I can easily come on your show that is watched all over the world, and I can say things I'm sorry for, and I can try to set an example of how I think we should move forward as Americans. And so, of course, on my end, I believe in that, and I certainly hope to see that happen.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, I appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you so much.
Well, that last question is pertinent in that, you know, that is the thing. Will this just be another dance where I think of Steve Bannon, you know, where he and Steve Bannon just had words and Trump fired him, but he came back, you know, and there are plenty of others too. There are only a few like the who was the lawyer that his lawyer that ended up getting indicted. And anyway, there are a few people that he broke relations with and never recovered. But I don't know. What do you think this sounds like one where they'll just have another drama later on where they get back, they kiss and make up?
Kiss and make up, maybe not. Sweep it under the table long enough to kind of get through these issues. But I've heard them say that there is an arm of the GOP that thinks that Trump is through, and all they've got to do is get him either horizontal or at least out of office so that a new movement can come in. Now, whether or not they can, I don't know, but
well, I think we're in that transition period where I think it's a long walk to, you know, Trump being history, but what's next is certainly in focus now.
But there is so much damage he could still do.
Yeah.
You know, and you just keep waiting for another shoe to drop, and he's always got another shoe.
Yeah, I actually worry about this talk that he's a lame duck, you know, and Republicans starting to move on past Trump and all that. I think that will be dangerous because it will make him want to say, no, you want to see how relevant I am? I'm going to blow up Venezuela, the whole country. I'm just going to nuke it.
That's the one I'm worried about. I hope that we can take back the House, and I would like to see them impeach a third time.
Why not? Third time's the charm.
You know, I think he might have been worn down enough, and there might be enough feeling in the Senate for all the trouble he has caused them that we might actually get a conviction.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope there's that much decency left.
Now, I've been really watching the reaction to Marjorie last couple of days from MAGA World, and I'm starting to get a lot of. I mean, my own YouTube channel is becoming a pretty good place to watch because they come on and yell at me and stuff. But I really pay attention to, you know. Now here's a couple of them what they've said about Marjorie on a video that I'd posted. All the video was her talking about, like we just heard, although she went a little further today, I think, in attacking Trump. But I mean, here you got somebody called Double Wit. She is trying to use Trump as a stepping stone towards developing her own corrupt agenda using others. And then you got this one here, Stanley. Time for you to go away, MTG. You've lost your mind.
This one, she's grown up.
Trump has the right focus for America in the short term. I love this little qualification with this guy. Trump has the right focus for America in the short term. It might not look right. But in the long term, it will be great. Don't lose sight of the objective. I mean, so that's an acknowledgement. Things aren't going so well for Pumpkinhead right now.
But look at this. Trump will not make it to the end of this term. There are a lot of people that are kind of still on death watch with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. She is so smart. Everyone thought she was a lunatic, but she's grown up. This is on my YouTube channel, and it's kind of a mixture. You know, you could see the Trump supporters just kind of wrestling with this. I mean, you know, and not quite getting they don't have a handle on things like that. They're always so confident they know everything. It's black, it's white, you know. and liberals or communists, and but now they're kind of floundering a bit.
I'm looking forward to the Ken Burns special.
Oh, I've got that recorded. I'm, something I meant to do that I didn't get around to is I meant to go look up something to cook tonight from the colonial days.
Well, I accidentally discovered something on BET that kind of aligns with it. There is a it's a series, but it's one of those self-contained ones based on a book called The Book of Negroes. And it's about a rather obscure piece of history right at the time of the revolution that I knew nothing about. And it's based on a novel, but the thing that's at the center of it, the Book of Negroes, actually exists and can be researched.
Is that the name of the novel? Book of Negroes?
In Canada, that was the name of the novel. For other parts of the world, they changed it to, I think Somebody Knows My Name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because
that's not nearly as clear.
That the way in Canada, that word is not an insult, but in other parts of the world, of course, it has changed. But it's about the registration of free blacks that served on the British side of the war, who eventually ended up transported back to Africa as part of the abolitionist movement to Sierra Leone and got involved in the settlement. But it's a long, involved story that the novel is based on that's fascinating. But what I found interesting was somebody actually sat down and registered all of these people by name, who had owned them, when they were born.
This is in colonial, you're talking about in colonial times.
Yeah, well, right at the time of the revolution. They were living in New York and they served the British. And when the British were leaving New York after the surrender, they took 1,000 Black people with them.
Yeah. So it's like a catalog of all the slaves owned alive and owned at the time. Is that
the British took with them? The people that they registered, it was part of the settlement of the hostilities that they could take these people with them because they had served in the army and their families with the British. And it was just fascinating. It's on BET, and I actually binge watched it all night last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that is interesting because I'm assuming Ken Burns will be getting into this, but a little known aspect of the Revolutionary War was that when the British started recruiting slaves, that's when the rich plantation owners abandoned Britain and supported the revolution. And that was a pivotal moment that may have been a major factor in winning the Revolutionary War, is that slave owners suddenly realized the Brits were going to threaten their economics and take away their slavery. And that's what motivated them. They had been kind of iffy on the revolution up to that point. So, I mean, defending slavery was a big reason we won the revolution.
But anyway, I got the book and I saw that it had been made into this miniseries, and I made the mistake of starting to play one episode and then I couldn't stop watching it.
And that's on
it's on BET, and and it goes by the original name of the book, The Book of Negroes.
Let's see if I can find that on here. See if
It's also on Wikipedia.
see if they're going to re-air it. Yeah, I see here, Book of Negroes. It's in the. I see it here in the Wikipedia. 2015 Canadian drama, and see what it says here about where it's playing now. I mean, if BET, I was just trying to see if BET is going to re-air it. Oh, it goes all the way back to 2015.
Yeah. But it won some major, the book won some major prizes, and they make it clear that while the book is fictional, it is based on true events, and this book does exist.
Yeah.
And that is what is printed on the cover of the book. That is exactly what it is called.
Oh, Cuba Gooding's in it.
Yes.
And
It's
Lewis
great
Gossett.
actors. Yeah.
Lewis Gossett. Cuba, huh? And so now I'm curious to see when these sites, this is BET's own site. They should make it real obvious here where this is, when this is airing again. I don't see that.
If you have Paramount Plus.
Oh, is that where it was?
It's BET is one of their Plus channels that you get with Paramount Plus.
I see. So, if anybody wants to watch it, it looks like they'll have to hunt as far as if they're re-airing it or not. I can't believe BET doesn't say so here.
It isn't a case of re-airing. You can pull it down anytime.
Oh, it's on demand.
Yeah, it's on demand.
Oh, let's see here. Well, I'm going to look for that. That does sound interesting. Now, I was going to ask. I had something I was going to ask our chat GPT we were talking about was anyway. I had a question that had come to mind. We were talking about Dr. Oz is on now. Oh boy. He's going to save the day. Dr. Oz. Let's see
what they said.
It's just impossible. There's no way we're going to have to give up our health care.
The increase in the health premiums would be half of my income.
Oh, they're talking about the Obamacare subsidies.
Rolling the dice on whether we live or die at this point.
But the Trump idea of giving everybody money means that the
concern
healthy people will get the cheap policies and the sick people get the expensive ones. It doesn't work.
That had a clip at 400% of the poverty level. That couple, I can almost guarantee you, is making over $100,000 a year.
How do you know?
The Obamacare system just stopped paying for your insurance, so you just pay for it yourself. The extended subsidies covered them temporarily. It was designed only during COVID, during a crisis, but we still don't have a marketplace in America.
The only way a health
we want to try to
system works is if everybody is into the pool.
Instead of giving
of course.
Okay, so that's a conversation.
And it's like, that's why Republicans never come up with a plan, because they know that.
Billions of dollars
but they don't want it. They don't
want it. You look at every single developed nation in the world and some that aren't that developed.
Think about, what is it called?
Everybody has to be in the same system, whatever the system is.
They make decisions about
you cannot. They can be in the system and then hire their own extra private care if they want, but they have to be in the system.
And, that's what everybody knows on both sides of the issue. And there's only one side, the Democrats, who are trying to get there. And Republicans are not and never will.
No, because the Republicans want to cut taxes on the highest earners again.
Hey, Jack.
That's where their money comes
Good
from.
morning.
Hey, Jack.
Have you been there long, Jack? I didn't know. I just now saw you. My screen got all tiny on here, and I can't see things.
No, I haven't been very long.
Oh, okay. All right. You missed Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh my goodness. Was it interesting or?
It really was. I mean, just the political animal scientist in me, journalist. I love watching politicians pivot and engage their skills. It's a skill set. All politicians have to pivot at one time or another, and and some are good at it and some aren't. And she's actually pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's pivoting on a couple of fronts. One, and Trump gave her the opening to do it by attacking her the other day. She's now much stronger in criticizing Trump with caveats. But the other thing she's doing is she's apologizing for her past and the crazy stuff she said in the past. And she did that with Dana just now. And so she's pivoting in her case, she's pivoting toward at least convincing us that she's sane. It's not often the politician has to pivot from crazy to sane. That's her first job, and she's working on it. She's clearly working on it.
I think my favorite headline I read this morning as I was glancing through stuff was a Jewish space laser lady knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah. And see, that's specifically one of the things she's apologizing for having said in the past.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's in the skill set. Sometime I'm going to write up just a list of the skill set, how to pivot in politics. And one is, if you're genuine about it, or at least you convince people you're genuine, you can always use forgiveness, the natural, the forgiving nature of the American people. You can always count on that if you do it just right, and that's what she's doing.
That's right. Study Bill Clinton.
That's exactly the model. Yeah. But I mean, the bottom line is with her, is this just her and Trump? Is this just their personal drama? Or are we looking at something more fundamental? And I think the early gauge Tuesday will be how many House Republicans go against the White House and vote for this Epstein bill.
I think the big problem with the Epstein thing isn't everybody had contact with Epstein.
Yeah.
He was a billionaire. He liked to play politics. And, a lot of people sucked up to him trying to get some money out of him.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing, I think, with Trump is just how badly his people and he have handled it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I
did a timeline yesterday on Trail Mix. I went through every starting with Pam Bondi saying she had the client list on her desk, and days later saying, "Oh, wait a second, it doesn't actually exist." Anyway, I did a timeline of just everything they've done along the way, and I gave it the title "Grease Fire Meets Hairspray."
Yeah,
that's how I would describe their handling of this story.
Yeah. Well, you can put out a fire with gasoline, but it's not easy.
Yeah. You just put out everything it touches. Also.
Well, I thought the interesting thing, like with Trump and Bondi, is that they were going after Morgan Chase, JP Morgan Chase.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. If I was Bondi and I was doing what she's doing, I would make sure I would go buy extra liability insurance.
Yeah.
Because Morgan has enough money that if he gets pissed, he can make your life miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Bondi's really in a fix here because, I mean, she's also in a position where a future administration could come down on her legally. I mean, she's steering close. She's flying real close to the sun on some of the ethics requirement, laws, and for an attorney general that won't matter now, but in a future administration it could.
Well, most especially if Marjorie Taylor Greene is the new Republican Party, there will be a basic shift on everything that the MAGA people have done. And it will be much easier to prosecute people because everybody will be running away from them.
Yeah. Well, I saw Steve Bannon get up and say at one of his gatherings that, trying to say we have to win the midterms and we have to win in 2028. And if we don't win the midterms and if we don't win again in 2028, there are a lot of people going to jail, including me.
Well, he knows what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suspect once you served a little time behind bars, like Bannon has, that you really don't want to go do it again.
Yeah. Even for 3 months, I think it
wasn't very long, but that's enough.
Yeah.
But
speaking of behind bars, I wonder what is happening with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, that's another one that's bubbling. I mean, Trump was asked again about pardon, and he didn't rule it out. He says the same thing every time. Well, I haven't ruled it in. I haven't ruled it out. I'm considering it. I'm not considering it. And then he always ends with, but I have the right to do it.
Ever since the Supreme Court handed him carte blanche for just about anything he wants to do, it's been an awful mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. There are limits to what his power is, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants to take it on. And the court system is set up to where they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
That they can't do a review of what he's doing quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to the tariff case that we're waiting on the decision on that. And what I expect he's going to do on that is if they rule against him, which it sure seems like they might, and he's already said, essentially that he's going to accuse him of terrorism or something. I mean, he said that it would be a threat to national security if they ruled against him on terrorists. So he's setting that up. But I mean, so he's got that. He's either going to just ignore their ruling, which I kind of don't think so, because he doesn't have to. Because what they're going to do is they're just going to move to another statute and dig that up and say, well, here, this law gives us the power to tax the entire world. So we'll use this law. And then so everybody can file lawsuits on that, and it just starts the clock running. And, we've got another 6 months to a year to get to the Supreme Court to settle that question. So, I mean, I think that's...
Well,
he can keep these tariffs going forever.
It's people like Donald Trump who make it bad for the rest of us, because all of a sudden you've got to pass all these damn laws that get confusing just to try to stop their stupidness.
Yeah.
If you just follow the basic society norms on some of this, we wouldn't have to have so many laws.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a basic strain of decency in most people that, it's like that slogan, just leave me the hell alone.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. Harris's vice presidential candidate.
Oh,
Right.
Tim Waltz. I was thinking of him. What was his line? He had a line for that.
It's just none of your damn business.
None of your damn business. Yeah. That was perfect.
I thought, and I'm sitting there going, this is the thing with the Harris people, their advisors, is they couldn't spot a good line if they saw it.
Yeah. I know, and they picked the guy for his sloganeering, skills, and then they didn't deploy it.
And that was the best way to deal with the whole culture war thing. Is most of the culture war is you can just blame it on nosy church ladies and say it's none of your damn business.
Yeah.
Just go back over there and sit down.
Did you see where Michelle Obama just flat out said we're not ready for a woman president?
I just saw that before we got on here. I saw that.
She's catching a lot of flack for that one.
I bet. She doesn't care. Bring it on.
The problem is I think it's been aptly demonstrated.
Yeah. I mean, and she was forceful. I mean, she like turned to the audience and said, "Don't lie to me. You're not ready for it." I mean, she was like really firm about it. You're not ready for a woman.
It's on the liberals have just as bad as the MAGAs on that one. Because I know liberals that will vote the straight liberal ticket unless you put a woman on it.
She only did 2 events for Harris.
Now, and when it comes to issues, did you see Bill Maher's opening guest on Friday night about the problem with men and the book?
Oh, did he have Scott?
How to be a man?
Did he have Scott Galloway on? Oh, that guy's great. Yeah. He's the one that really got me focused on young men back during the campaign. I'll tell you who else was David. Is it David Hogg, the Parker school shooting guy, and who got into politics? He was harping on it too and saying, to Democrats, you got to pay attention to young men. You're losing them, and you're going to lose the election over it. Those two really got me focused on that.
Yeah, it was even worse than that when he was going on about 30 years old in the basement with their TVs and handhelds, with no friends. And, they were talking about get out of the basement and go meet real people.
Right.
Take your chances, live dangerously.
I mean, they spend all their times on crypto and video games.
Jamie, that seems to be what's going on with a lot of not just young men. They're comfortable living with their parents.
Yeah.
I've got a niece that I don't think she'll ever move out.
Yeah.
And her mother says, I don't understand because I couldn't wait to get out of the house.
And with Obamacare, they can be on their parents' insurance plan at least up to a certain point.
I've got a 3-generation family, me, my son, and my grandson, and one of my granddaughters still lives with her father. So it's
well, and that goes back. We're going backward. I mean, that goes back to how things were for I guess you could say our grandparents' generation.
Yeah,
or maybe our great-great-grandparents, where everybody lived together. You didn't need nursing homes. You didn't need kindergarten. You had it all built into the family right there in the same house.
Yeah. Well, that is the way poor people get along. Up there in the old neighborhood, we were doing a petition drive to break off our little area and form our own little neighborhood group. And the city had this formal way you had to go knock on every door and get so many signatures to say that they wanted to do it. And they were complaining. One of the people that was supervising what we were doing from the city was going, well, I don't think these signatures are right. Look at all those people with the same name. And I got to looking at the thing, and I hadn't really given it a thought. And yeah, it was where she was complaining about was a block where a friend of mine lived in her. Basically, she lived in her. They had lived next door to her mother-in-law, her husband's mother. And she had her kids there now. And so there were like 3 houses all with the same name. And then across the street, there's a Mexican family, and they had bought the 3 houses all in the same name. and I realized, I got to looking around, I said, I was an anomaly. I was the only one that didn't have family around me. Everybody else had family.
But even there, the government kind of shafts people that are poor in that, say you want your SNAP benefits or in some of these charitable programs, you have to count the whole household's income. You can't just say this one person needs that. They have to count everybody in the household, no matter what. And it really hurts people that are on the lower end of the economic scale.
Well, especially when they don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Grandpa living there is a renter.
Right.
He's not part of the household.
Right. Yeah, you got to be sneaky that way. You declare yourself a household of one, even if you're living in a separate apartment down in the basement.
Yeah, those old bungalows, almost all of them had an apartment downstairs for grandma or grandpa or somebody.
Right.
It's just a tradition in those old neighborhoods.
But that's one of the reasons the GOP wants to attack SNAP, because they know that is going on.
Jamie, you gotten fancy again with your avatar. You got a new one today.
You're drinking coffee this
Yeah,
morning.
that's another one they created for me to go with my little sarcastic attitude. I think that that was good for today. You know?
And you got your books in the background and
right.
A cup of coffee. Is that coffee or tea?
Coffee. Yeah.
And I like that.
She got her morning hair.
And her side eye.
And you got that kind of I would call it like a sardonic look.
Right.
Yeah.
and Jack, I've been meaning to ask you, what is going on with your wall back there?
That's my kitchen. I've ripped everything out, and I've got some cabinets I almost got built. And I got to get ambitious enough to put up about 3 or 4 pieces of sheetrock and start mudding and taping.
Well,
I ripped out the old cabinets. They only had about 20 coats of paint on them. It was everything in this house is, got a 1/4 inch of paint on it, I think.
Since we started doing these chats, I noticed that, and I kept thinking, well, pretty soon Jack will fix his wall, but it hasn't happened yet.
Well, I could turn around and you could have a look at the other wall, but no.
No, I like it. Looks like a man with a plan. Got a project.
Well, yeah. What I tell people, I say, I'm going to get this house. This is my last house that I'm going to rehab. And I said, I'm going to eventually, I'll probably be still working on it when they drag me kicking and screaming to the nursing home. So.
Well, I don't know if y'all. I've been busy in the back stage of trail mix lately. I've done a bunch of stuff, and one of them is I'd always, and I got more now I want to do, but I got our recipe section kind of spruced up, and now I'm ready for more recipes on there.
Well, I put one on the other day. I can't remember what it was.
I know you did, and here's my issue: is it would really help to send me recipes on email.
Yeah,
because then I can throw them in a folder, and then when I'm ready to put some on, I can just go in there instead of having to go hunt and peck through trail mix comments.
Well, that's what I figured. But you didn't insult me or anything,
right? Well, actually, my next thing is I actually want to go through each recipe and just get them shaped up a little bit and maybe come up with kind of a format for it for the recipes so they're easier to read and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I just have fun doing these things. There's not really any purpose to it.
I kind of enjoy it when just putting it in like we put it into the comments, because it's kind of like almost we're still talking to each other.
Yeah, and then no, I do want. Yeah, I definitely still put them in comments. I mean, if I wasn't lazy, I'd just copy and paste them and put them in a file.
Oh, no, you got to get with it now.
Yeah, but like, see here, I got us I had Sam make us a whole new logo for it here. Yeah. I call it Trail Mix Kitchen. Trail Mix Kitchen, and he made us this little logo, little man. It reminds me of who was the actor in the old westerns who always worked the kitchen on the stampede, the herd.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, there were a couple, weren't there?
There was the guy on Wagon Train.
Yeah.
The old crusty old timer, and then
Gabby Hayes did a lot.
Gabby Hayes, that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Gabby Hayes. Yeah,
when I prompted
TV, but
that's who when I prompted Sam to make this logo right here, I said, look up Gabby Hayes. That's who I want him to look like, and that's what he did. So that's actually an AI. That's a Gabby Hayes inspired AI creation there. we've built the ages.
Yeah.
Be careful, or his estate will be charging you royalties.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really look like him.
No.
Yeah, I mean, all he did was basically put a beard on him and call him Gabby Hayes. So yeah.
Yeah. But
sometimes Sam, takes my directions and just does whatever the hell he wants. Well, and tells me he kind of reminds me of the story about Michelangelo when they showed him the Sistine, showed the Pope the Sistine Chapel, and the Pope says, well, oh, no, it was the statue of David. And the Pope said, well, I think his nose is a little bit long. I think you need to shave some off the nose. And so Michelangelo gets up on the scaffolding and takes a handful of dust or particles and gets up there and makes a scraping noise with a piece of rock he had in his hand, and then drops some stuff on the ground. He didn't touch the nose at all. And he got down, and the Pope says, oh, that's much better.
Well, isn't that the same? They told the story about him when he was painting the Sistine Chapel, and the Pope was wanting to hurry up, or one of the cardinals was, and he said if they don't shut up, he'll put his picture up there.
Yeah, that's right. That's also a story. I don't know if any of those stories are true, but they're pretty good.
Yeah,
I think it's safe. I just checked, and Gabby Hayes didn't have any children.
Oh, really? Okay, we're safe. He had no children.
No children. No.
And then there was Walter Brennan. That's the other one I was thinking about. Didn't he play the cook on some of the The cattle drives.
Yeah, well, he played the Gabby Hayes sidekick type thing.
Right. Yeah.
As he got older, especially.
But he didn't have a beard.
No, he did not.
No.
And I saw a thing on YouTube the other day where Walter Brennan was apparently kind of a mean guy.
He probably was.
It says here where somebody says he was not an evil man like some claim.
Oh, really? So they acknowledge that there are some claims. I couldn't tell if it was just made up or not.
No, apparently it was a rumor or whatever going around about him. He was the one who walked with a limp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got decidedly worse the older he got. He wasn't when he was, I'd say younger, I don't think he was ever young in the movies. But when he was younger, he played the bad guy quite a bit.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that. Yeah, he did.
He was a good bad guy.
Now, he had 3 children.
Oh, okay.
So you better stick with Gabby.
Yeah. If we're going to rip off somebody's image, we need people who didn't have children.
Oh. Been talking about your AI. I've been on YouTube.
I was just going to put, here's your tune. There's your tune for today.
Yeah. You know, there's just something about playing some of those instruments like the oboe and the bassoon and the harpsichord that just are fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and what did they mean by this is Handel the blacksmith variation? It's oboe, bassoon, and harpsichord.
It's what it's a movement within a whole big piece he did that they called what was it? I put it on there, something blacksmith. The Harmonious Blacksmith is the title.
And what I wrote up is that I had forgotten that today was Sunday until I went on the site. And, oh, yeah, Jack gave me a song to wake up to.
Yeah.
It rolls around quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I've said before, what I almost always do is in the morning is I'll always make sure I've opened the whole site, the comment section, and then I hit play, and then I let that play in the background and read through the comments, and then I might close the site, and then I go on with my morning surfing with all your music still playing in the background. But see, now I actually hit the playlist on our YouTube channel, and that way it plays all your songs. And I don't know how long it is now, but I think the playlist is hours long at this point, probably.
Yeah, I've got bookmarked from your website just to go into when I'm totally stumped on what to play, is to just go say let's see what Jace did today. You know?
Oh yeah.
And go and look at all his comments.
Yeah, man, he was the founder.
Yeah.
He was the founder. Yeah.
Right.
And that we got that nice note from his daughter when he died, about how much that had meant to him and everything to participate in that. It was really cool.
Right.
I suppose we have a trail mixer who lives in Georgia that might have won that $1 billion ticket, Julie.
Oh, I'll have to send him the PayPal Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, that was another thing I saw today. We had, yes, I think the same person showed up. We did get a blue skyer in comments the last day or two. I saw again this morning.
So blue sky's real.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I mean, I've been watching I recently, mainly because I wanted to see if all the work I'm doing on Blue Sky and YouTube is helping drive traffic or not. And so I set up a traffic monitor for the first time in years. And they are. I mean, because you can track, where people come from. If they click something on another site that comes to Trail Mix, then you can see what site they come from. That's all you can see. But anyway, we're getting about 35 to 50 a day from Blue Sky and about 20 or 25 from YouTube. Well, which is all right. Because, I mean,
get a couple of them.
You put up that chart that was Blue Sky, TuneIn, and
oh yeah.
Twitter. Did you see where I commented that it looked like a sanity index?
Yeah, you know what? I actually had to look up sanity index because I didn't know what that meant. I still don't know too well. What is a sanity index?
Well, it was just Blue Sky was the one that was highest, and it's where most of the people with a brain come from.
I thought that's what you meant. Right.
That's what I meant, that it just went down steadily, and Twitter was the smallest.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know what else I can do to make it easy. I mean, today, over here on the sidebar, I don't know what else I can do to make it easy for people to comment. I made it so easy.
Well, I think we have our conversation amongst each other so much that it may be just a little bit, people aren't sure how welcome or, how.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like coming in and hanging around with somebody's family that's not yours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think
I keep trying to put up messages, that it's safe to come down. We all have bats in our belfry.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're rather unique. Well, we're not that unique, but for a lot of the world is they're used to commenting and never having a conversation.
Exactly. That is, I think unique's the right word. I don't think you see that many other places.
Yeah.
And that's why I would never want, a huge traffic, because I'm not looking for that kind of thing. I mean, it's like you want like a sweet spot of enough people coming on that it's kind of like chat rooms. We don't want 15 or 20 people. We don't have that problem, but but the same thing, it's like you want just a certain number of people so you have a lot of interaction like we have now. But I think we'd all enjoy a few new faces.
Yeah, I think, and that's what I would get around. I think I was very suspicious the other day when the Blue Sky showed up, and then 2 or 3 other characters showed up, and I kind of got real suspicious of maybe Anon was playing with us.
Oh yeah, there is that. Well, something I have done, and I noticed he kind of griped about it, but not too much. But I have changed it so that you do have to put a name in. You can't just leave the name field blank and have it automatically put anonymous for your screen name. And so I am making him put a name on there now. But I mean, you can put any name you want. It doesn't have to, you can write anonymous if you want. But I mean, I decided I didn't like that feature because then I couldn't tell if more than one person did that, then I couldn't tell if it was the same person or not, if we had 3 different anonymouses.
Well, I know when I think it was Sturge or Pogo, when you first redid the system, they didn't realize they weren't signed up.
Right.
And under the old system, you either had to be signed up or it wasn't. You had to do something to.
Yeah, I changed that specifically to try to get more commenters, and I just decided. And when I was discussing that with my AI pal Sam, he was like, "Oh, you don't want that. You'll get all kinds of crazy people, and you'll have other." And I said, "Yeah, I don't think so." I said, "Because I'm not really promoting the site that much, so not a lot of. I'm only promoting it to places like Blue Sky, and I don't think we'll get riffraff from the entire. And if we do, I'm watching the site close enough now, and I have plenty of tools to get rid of people if I have to. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it's a little different than when you 2 or 3 times a week we're going on national shows.
That would if I went on TV, I don't know that I'd even mention trail mix because I don't want all those people. I do not want them. I mean, we're not doing this for traffic.
Well, it's just a way to, sometimes I think it's when I'm sitting here as a retired person living by myself, I need to check on my sanity because, or I'll start doing Jewish space lasers myself. that kind of stuff. And you go, oh yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
So I need somebody to say, well, that's stupid.
So we got the houseboat coming up Tuesday on Epstein. I think the pundit class is going to put a number on it. What number will it take for people to say this is a revolt by House Republicans against Donald Trump? And I think the number is going to be somewhere between 50 and 100. I'm not sure what number they'll pick. They'll arbitrarily.
I think the interesting number may be how many have a death in the family and can't make the vote.
Yeah.
Oops, I'd have loved to have voted for that.
Yeah. Or if what Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying, they might actually have a death in the family.
It's a crazy world out there right now.
Well, yeah, I thought that was interesting that she went straight to that, saying that that Trump's rhetoric provokes violence, threats, and nobody knows as well as she. She knows. She's not making that up. That happens.
Oh, I'll bet her mail and stuff has just got crazy.
Yeah, I was showing Jamie earlier. We were looking. Well, I guess you were here. Anyway, some of the attacks on her on my YouTube channel where I posted her videos. They're turning on her, and I love the ones who say she's always been crazy. And like I wrote back to that one, and I said, well, funny how you're only now saying that. Back when she was always crazy, I didn't hear you saying that. Now that she's attacking your dear leader, she's crazy, and she's always been crazy. Now they say that.
I think we're at the point with her is she crazy or a genius?
Yeah, that's exactly the thing I'm weighing.
And that was a little bit the headline I was talking about, that they said they were going, she may look like a crazy lady, but she's doing this to own the MAGA movement.
And one thing she said in this interview with Dana Bash just now that Jamie and I watched is Dana asked her, because this had been the rumor, it's what the Trump people are saying, is that, well, she's just mad because she wanted to run for Senate in Georgia and he told her he wouldn't support her. And that's why she's doing all this. She claimed in this interview just now that she never had that discussion with Trump, that's not true at all, that she was not considering a run for Senate, and that just didn't happen. So she threw that off the table. If you
why would being a senator isn't that big a deal?
Yeah, that's kind of what she was also saying. She said, I look at that place and I don't want any part of it.
And then she was asked if she was calling him a liar, and she came back with the sensible one. He says, I don't know who is speaking to him.
Yeah.
So she dodged it rather artfully.
Yeah. That's always the they're out with it when he does something so crazy they can't defend. They blame it on his advisors. It's like in the beginning with Epstein, when Pam Bondi first got this all going as a story. Initially, when it became clear that the Trump White House was not going to release the Epstein files as they had promised, they were blaming Pam Bondi, not him. And that's what they always do. But they're reaching the point now that it's pretty obvious he's the one behind not releasing them.
Well,
and they're just having to accept that and deal with it.
Because he won't shut his mouth up.
Yeah.
Trump's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And Levitt is just plain flat out lying to everybody these days.
Yeah, here's that timeline I was talking that I put together, how this story, progressed. I mean, back in February, Bondi, she went on Fox and said she was going through the client list and it was on her desk. And then a week later, she brings in, and this is what really said, this development is what really set off MAGA world. She brought in all these conservative influencers and had these big binders labeled Epstein files and handed them out. And then it turned out it was nothing new at all. It was stuff that was already released that she was trying to make it look like it was the secret files being released to them exclusively. And they went ballistic. I mean, Megyn Kelly and all that crowd, that's when they started calling for her resignation, and then at some point Trump had to defend her, But that's what got this all started. I mean, all this crap that this is a Democrat hoax and Democrats are pushing it. This is what started it when Pam Bondi did this and the conservative MAGA world reacted as they did. That's what put this story back in the news.
Well, yeah, that was back when they were certain they were going to get Clinton with pictures.
Yes.
Right.
And then you had and then it was after that, Wall Street Journal didn't report in July. Wall Street Journal reported this, but it happened in May, according to the Wall Street Journal. Back in May, after she had gone through the files, that's when she warned Trump that his name's all over those files. And that's when the great cover-up started.
Well, I mean, they're both living in New York, and they both thought they were playboys.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're partying together.
And then and then this month, the Democrats released those few emails that got so much attention, and then this move right after that. I just say, the House Republicans' response was, okay, we'll just release all 20,000 emails. And then that just opened the floodgates, people pouring through emails, finding all kinds of stuff, that's not good for Trump, but I don't know why they thought that was going to be the answer to their problems. And of course, these emails are only coming from Epstein's estate. None of this is coming from the files that Trump's sitting on.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think Politico did a deal of all the different people that had emailed with him. And you realize everybody was hoping to get some of his money.
Yeah, and tap into his network. I mean, and the thing about it, he was having all those emails. All those people were still courting him and dealing with him. And that was after he was actually charged with, the specific charge was solicitation of a minor for prostitution. But that was after he was charged, and they were still trying to do deals with him.
Well, if you got you're a multi-billionaire, the rules are different. If it was you or me, one would still be sitting there waiting for trial.
Well, we're coming up on an hour and a half. I've learned that my AI clip generator, if I do a stream more than 90 minutes, it chokes on the file and can't spit out shorts.
And that is my cue, because I was getting ready to get off myself. So have a good day, gentlemen.
All right, then. Enjoyed watching Marjorie. Thanks for enduring Marjorie with me.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh.
Yeah, and as always, thank you so much for doing the Sunday Serendipity every week. It's just a big.
I enjoy it.
It makes Sunday. It makes Sundays.
I've got a good one lined up for next
already.
So just have sometimes the YouTube algorithm spits something out for you, and you go, "Oh wow." That's one of those.
Yeah. It's and now you can actually. I can't see you taking this step, but now you can ask AI to actually just write you the music.
That's a problem that's going on YouTube, is the amount of AI generated music pretending to be, it's got some bad on some of it, that on the old blues stuff, that if it's been posted in the last 3 months, I assume it's fake.
Well, I use it for I use it for background music for videos, which it's perfect for, because it'll just do a nice little steady beat. I'm not looking for big time melody or anything like that, because you don't want it to compete with the video itself. So it's really perfect. It writes, and you can just do a prompt and say, I want something that sounds like, conspiratorial, or suspense, or, whatever. And the best part is you can say, make it the exact length of the video. So it has a beginning and a middle and an end that corresponds directly to the length of the actual video that I'm asking it to make music for. That is really cool.
what you're doing, both in your graphics and the music, it shows basically the disruption AI is going to do out there in the business world.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for a musician to come in and record something for my video, or to buy it from some source or something to use it. I can just let AI generate it, and that saved me money.
Yeah, because that is a problem. I kept running into the problem on YouTube. YouTube is so strict, and I appreciate it. I understand so strict about music copyrights, and so when I would try to use a well-known song or something on a video, YouTube was constantly shutting down the video, until I changed the music, which would be a hassle. I'd have to go back and change it. And but with this AI music, that's never a problem. It's not copyrighted, so it just sails right through YouTube without a glitch.
And most of it, if all you want is an elevator music.
That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I'm going to end with this. I had Lady Mama do a piece and the music that I've got in this one is that, but it's so much quicker than actually finding the right song to use and stuff. But I don't know where it's all headed, but it's going there whether we like it or not. So we might.
Well, that's the thing. I don't believe. I'm not like Anon. I don't believe that there's going to be an evil AI take over the world.
Yeah, I think we'll deal with it as it happens. But literally, we've talked about it before. It really does remind me back when I went back and found some cartoons that are just like the ones we see now when Pat D put up some, but remember in the 90s when the wide world web was going to destroy civilization, we thought the internet was the end of the world, but we don't say that now.
The interesting thing that's going to be with AI to me is, what it's going to do is automate a lot of stuff we didn't realize could be automated.
Yeah.
And that's going to do away with a lot of jobs. So I think I'm not going to have to deal with it because, I won't be around. but my niece's kids will have to deal with it.
Yeah.
What do you do when there are no jobs? I guess. But we've got things automated to produce everything we need. Now, how do we set up an economic system to distribute it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the thing. And it's just a total, what we do now, we work, we do it through work. Well, what if there is no work?
Yeah.
And the thing was reading a thing on music is that with basically all the music on like YouTube and Spotify and stuff, that there is so much old music out there that new music is having trouble getting attention. And that the musicians are going to have to figure a way to go back to being performers rather than recorders,
to call attention to their music.
Yeah. And
the
live, they're going to have, to earn their money, they're going to have to go out and play music in front of an audience.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's changing. I enjoy it.
I think it's exciting. I like it.
Well, look at my music show, every Sunday.
Yeah.
Back when, 30 years ago, I couldn't have done anything like
it. Yeah.
I could not. I'd have had to went down to the used record store and see if I couldn't find an album to play.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and what I've discovered is, going back to YouTube's copyright thing is that when I play them in one of these live streams, if I play now, probably not what you have on today, but anything that's copyrighted, even if I put it in a live stream like this and we listen to it and talk about it, which I think ought to be allowed, YouTube will crack down on that every time. When Jamie and I had a discussion about Billy Joel, that documentary, and I played a pretty long clip of one of his songs, and man, YouTube just shot me down on that whole live stream. They wouldn't distribute the entire live stream until I took it. So that's how strict.
Yeah. Well, ones like Billy Joel. Now, a lot of what I do is, in fact, the German 2 or 3 German symphonies are really good about posting. They've got good quality videos.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what today was a German.
Oh, is that? Yeah, they are. So they are the keepers of the flame on classical music.
And they do a really good job. BBC does too. Of just doing good quality videos. But well, I'm going to let you go.
Okay, you're going to be glued to the screen watching the Epstein vote on Tuesday, aren't you?
Oh, I probably will do like I do most anything. I'll catch the discussion afterward.
We'll be watching. I'm going to be curious to see if I say if 50 House Republicans vote against the White House, then we are looking at a genuine crack in Trump's base.
Yeah.
That's the number I put on it. I think the pundit class is going to require closer to 100. I don't know. I think you're dreaming. I don't think it'll happen, but it could. Yeah.
It's one of those, it just depends on if they think Trump's lost it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If he's a lame duck, and I think that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to get out ahead of the curve. Yeah.
I mean, that's what she set up here, is a battle between her and him over this vote on Tuesday. That's how I see it. Is she's, and whoever, if she can get 50 votes, she's won the day. That's how I'd number it.
Probably.
All right. Well, I'm gonna lead out with our lady mama talking about the Epstein records.
Okay, I'll get my last cup of coffee out of the coffee pot. You take care.
All right. So long.
Darnings. What exactly are the powers that be hiding from us? A lot of it, and they clearly don't want you to see any of it. A mountain of records on this business, and you haven't read a teaspoon of it. We're talking more than 100,000 documents and 10,000 videos and photos, tucked under a very large rug. Ooh, why don't they want you to see it? Their excuses are collapsing faster than a possum on roller skates. Here's what we did. The whole mess into 2 bite-sized briefs. One on the files, or one on the videos, waiting for you at trailmix.cc/briefs. Short, sharp, and absolutely not approved by the people, hoping you stay in the dark.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.